I'm Robert Whitton, the Executive Chairman of Affinity Real Estate Private Equity, and you're watching The Luxury Show.
Robert Whitton, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good.
Brilliant. Can you tell your name to the viewers and your position within Affinity?
Sure. So my name is Robert Whitton. I'm basically the founder and the Executive Chairman of Affinity Real Estate Private Equity. So we're, as the name suggests, a real estate company, but we cover a number of different areas. So we're predominantly involved in both investment and development activities with real estate in the residential sector, commercial property, which obviously covers offices, retail, industrial, and also resorts and hospitality. And the big emphasis about the group is on sustainability. So in particular with development, we're looking for projects that are sustainable in terms of their footprint.
Definitely. Now, Affinity is quite a really exciting name in itself. For you to choose a name as a brand, can you go back to the company before Affinity, sure, and why you chose to kind of rebrand and call it Affinity?
Sure. Basically, I had, as I just explained, interest in various aspects of property, and they're all trading under different names and had different identities, and were involved in different parts of the world, predominantly in the UK, but some in Europe and some in the Caribbean. And it seemed to me that it would be much better to bring them all under one sort of group structure and under one name and one identity. In terms of choosing that identity, we went through quite a long process, and we engaged some brand experts to come in, and they talked through what we stood for, what our ideals were, what our aspirations were. And they came up with the name Affinity, and the reason that they did that, it was to reflect our belief in having affinity with our investors. So we, for instance, always co-invest in all the deals that we put together, but we have third-party investors that come in, whether they be institutions or high net worth individuals. We have affinity with communities where we invest, so particularly abroad. So for instance, we're doing a big resort project in St. Lucia in the Caribbean, so we want to engage with the local communities there, and we've got partnerships and we're doing lots of activities, so it's having affinity with those communities. And it's having affinity with the environment. As I say, sustainability is a really key note about what we're standing for. We think it's a very important aspect in terms of real estate, because the built environment is the biggest contributor to greenhouse emissions. So, affinity really is a sort of an attitude as much as a name.
Definitely. Talking about attitude, it leads quite nicely to the past of the company as well. I mean, you the last time I met you, you were rubbing shoulders with people like Samuel Jackson, but there is also a famous name that comes into play, Sir Alex Ferguson. How did that come about? How did the partnership come about?
Yeah, it's actually kind of more by accident than design, but I guess I've always been associated business-wise with celebrities. So with Sir Alex, he got involved in a company that I set up 10 years ago, and he became I was introduced to him. He liked what we was trying to do. He became a founder shareholder and an ambassador for that company, which was very successful. And both Alex and a lot of the investors that followed him got involved in some amazing property deals where we produced phenomenal returns for investors. But we've had a lot of investors. They tend to be high net worth individuals. Some of them are high profile. So, as well as Sir Alex, we had people like Simon Cowell and Sir Bob Geldof and Frank Lampard and a host of others, as well as sort of institutional investors. As I say, it's more kind of by accident than design, and
That's a good accent to have.
Recently, as you said, Samuel L. Jackson, we're sort of forging a partnership with him. We're doing an event in the summer in the UK here to where his foundation is going to be the beneficiary of that charitable event, and we're looking to do some other business with him. So yeah, it's nice to do business with high-profile individuals.
Definitely. I mean, we'll talk about some of the charity stuff that you guys do later on. Let's talk about the high net individuals. Obviously, it's a luxury show, and target audience is very well luxury clientele, high net worth individuals who want to spend and invest. Why would this be the best time to invest in a luxury market?
Well, I think that investors have sort of lost out in many ways not to have access to those sort of opportunities. And as you're aware, and your viewers will be aware, in terms of wealth management businesses, they tend to, which is, there's many of them, and it's a very established and regulated sector. But wealth management businesses that look after high net worth individuals, their money and their investments, they tend to concentrate purely on the sort of regulated investment activities, so in stocks and shares and other investment vehicles like that. What they don't tend to offer is ability to participate in sort of alternative investments and in real estate. And I think it's very important that real estate, takes an important share of anyone's portfolio, and I think particularly for high net worth individuals, because it's a way of wealth preservation, because investing in real estate, certainly for over a long-term period, has always proven to be a very resilient investment. So it's a good way of preserving wealth and passing it on even to the next generation. But a lot of people don't have access to the right opportunities and to the right management of particularly real estate opportunities, which is why what we're trying to offer at Affinity, and what I previously offered, where the likes of Sir Alex got involved, was basically we originate the real estate investment opportunity, we structure it in the most efficient way, we finance it in the most efficient way, and then we open that opportunity up to basically our investment club, so a club of high net worth individuals that want to get access to really good commercial and residential investment opportunities, that they can come in syndicates with other like-minded individuals and gain access. So they directly own the real estate, or directly own a part of the real estate, but they have behind them Affinity, they have myself behind it in terms of being able to source those opportunities, manage it for them, report to them, and ultimately exit and give them solid returns. In terms of the real estate market, in terms of the luxury market, as you said, the luxury market across virtually every sector has performed outstandingly well through this whole sort of recessionary phase. So whether it's sort of luxury handbags or luxury clothes or luxury cars, it's performed extraordinarily well. And I think that luxury real estate is no exception to that. In fact, it's one area of real estate that's outperformed. So if you look at London, for example, at the high-end residential market, the real sort of luxury properties, the values of those have risen tremendously and outperformed everything else in terms of real estate in the UK. And that's been repeated in other markets as well. And I think the reasons for that are predominantly twofold. I think one is that there is a rise in terms of global affluence. There are more and more wealthy people, more millionaires every day, more billionaires every week, and that's driven not just from the recovery from existing markets like Europe and the US, but obviously particularly from the new wealth from the new markets, and particularly the Far East, but also South America and Russia and India. And certainly amongst those individuals, there's a real sort of preponderance to want to invest in hard assets. In a lot of emerging markets, wealth can be created very quickly, it can also be lost very quickly. So the idea of investing it into hard assets, i.e. property, that's favoured. So London, if you look at luxury real estate here, it's been driven, the values have been driven by demand and investment from overseas, and particularly from those new markets. So I think those, the global trend of rising affluence, and also therefore the demand for those very wealthy individuals to want to kind of have a bit of everything. So they want the right car, they want the right yacht and everything. But in terms of real estate, in the same way that they would collect art, they would collect valuable real estate.
Tell us about the resort in St. Lucia. How did that come about, and what's behind the Affinity Resort?
So the Affinity Resort and the project in St. Lucia, which is called Freedom Bay, it has all the attributes of an investment that we look for. So it's a very prime location. We think that the British West Indies and the Eastern Caribbean islands are the most attractive in the Caribbean for investment purposes. Within St. Lucia, the site of where Freedom Bay is based is by the Pitons, which are these sort of iconic mountains, which are part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it's a very prime location, which is always the sort of the first requirement that we look for. In terms of the design, we've brought together a collaboration of leading architects and designers and hoteliers to create something that's truly unique, and in terms of its design is very sustainable. So everything about the design, in terms of the sourcing of the materials, so as much as possible we've used hardwoods from deforestation projects. We've used the design to take advantage of natural ventilation rather than requirement on sort of air conditioning. And there's a host of other energy saving designs within it, and things like rainwater harvesting and grey water recycling. So in terms of its ecological design, it's very high. And in terms of property, Affinity is a renowned brand, it's an understood brand, it's a trusted brand, and people see us as trustworthy, as people with integrity, people that have been in the business for a long time, that put great deals together, but also that do so with a real conscience, and that they've made a difference in terms of sustainability in real estate, which I think is a movement we have to go along that path because of its contribution to global warming, the built environment. We have to improve it. We have to make buildings much more energy efficient. So to be involved in that movement, to be seen as sort of contributors and pioneers in that movement is important to us, and also to be putting something back in all the successes that we have, both in the UK, but particularly overseas, where we build resorts, to engage ourselves with local communities and to assist local communities to improve their lives.
Brilliant. Finally, where can people find out more information about Affinity?
Well, the website's probably the best place, so it's www.affinityrepe.com.
Brilliant. And Robert Whitton, thank you very much for being part of the Luxury Show. Thank you.
Pleasure, thank you.